going down. We're live on YouTube right now. So I'm back with just a quick little stream. Well, I say that, I don't know how short or how quick the stream will actually be, but I'm just here to give you a few updates about this weekend's bookings and gigs. Main reason is just because one of them has changed quite drastically, and I just wanted to um, like point them out and give you guys updates. Yes, the baseline. What's going on? So basically, for those of you who are not aware, I'm playing at DNA in Leicester this Friday, which is a memorial event for a guy called Billy, who sadly passed away, and he was a well-known person around the area. He was well known in the rave community, and all in all, he was just, from what I heard, a sound person. So DNA wanted to get together. They wanted to put an event on to sort of like almost play a few tunes and raise a toast for Billy, and just to do him proud, really. And the original idea was we was gonna do a live streamed event in the Cube nightclub in Leicester, which is just above Boxed. Now, a few changes have come, and they've been they've been quite good changes, which are going to make the event a lot more better. So first off, the event has now moved into the Boxed nightclub downstairs, which personally is better because it's a bigger nightclub, and it's just, you've got more space in general. So that's a good thing. The second thing is they've now opened the event up to the public. So I think there's free entry, but it's a limit up to 30 people. So 30 people can come to this event, but once the 30 have, once the 30 have come, the 30 have come, and us artists, we get a +1 as well. So 30 people plus the artists +1s. So say if a DJ is bringing his girlfriend, etc., you know, sorry, she'll get in as the +1. So it's moved downstairs. It's going to be a little more like an event. It's still going to be streamed. So if you don't come to the event, which only 30 people can come, so it's not many, but it'll still be nice. And what I was going to say is you can still watch it through the web. So if you want to watch it through the web, you can still watch it through the web, and you'll be able to lock in and listen to the night. You'll hear all the MCs, you'll hear all the DJs, you'll hear all the music, and you'll just hopefully love it. And it'll almost be like you're there, but you won't be there, if that makes sense. And then Saturday, we're down in Telford at the Telford Arena, which is Monster's birthday, and we've got an amazing lineup there, which that event, to what I know, is fairly the same as it was when it first got announced, but it's going to be a banging night. Again, it's free entry as well. I get +1s as well, so if anybody does want to come along for the ride, obviously I'm going with the layman, but he's on the flyer anyway, so he's gigging, so he isn't coming as my +1, if you like, so I still get a +1. The only thing is you will have to make your own way there, as we won't be able to come and collect you, especially if you live somewhere out of the way, that's going to be out of our way from driving to where we're going, which is obviously Telford. So obviously if you do want to come as a +1, personal message me either through Instagram, MC Noble, Facebook, Ashley Noble. Let me know that you want to come, and then I can just say to the person running the event, my +1 is going to be so and so, and then when you get there, just tell the man on the door that you're Noble's +1. It come nice and early. We're going to try and get there for the start as well. So, you know, if I'm there, I can say, look, yep, he's my +1. And you'll get in, no bother. So Friday, I'm DJing. I'm going back to back with CMD. And I'm second on. So there's going to be a DJ playing before me. And then there's going to be myself and CMD. The layman's going to be hosting it, and to be fair, that just suits me down to the ground. I like the layman hosting me, and the thing about what I like about the layman hosting me is he's not as such an MC, but he's a damn good host. And sometimes a set is just sounds better when it's hosted. You know, you can have the sickest MC who's got a really sick flow, really sick bars, but sometimes a set can just be ruined if someone's babbling through the whole set. You know, and going in with bars on every single drop. Sometimes you know you've got to let a tune breathe. And the thing what I like about the layman is he's not, like I say, he's not an MC as such, but he's got a few bars that he knows, and he can spit a few bars. So he can MC a little bit, but he's a damn good host. So he can hype the crowd. He can just do such an amazing job doing the shouts and things on the live stream, but he's still giving the tune chance to breathe, and he knows where the drops are coming in, and he works amazingly well with the tunes as opposed to someone who just babbles through the set. You know, I mean, I've got to admit, I do like to spit a few good bars over a set. So, you know, I do sort of like understand, you know, MCs, you know, where they're coming from, and they do like to jump on and spit a few good bars, and they like to show people how fast they can go with the flow. You know, I completely understand. But yeah, so he's going to be hosting us, so it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's a 45-minute set that I'm aware of. I'm B2B with CMD, so it's going to be kind of like my songs versus his songs, so I'm quite looking forward to that. And then I'm also going to be MCing for Sketch, so I'm looking forward to it because Sketch always brings a really good sort of like power set, loads of like power stomp and loads of upfront bangers that just absolutely go off like I don't know what. And then Saturday, I'm just MCing. I'm not DJing that I'm aware of on Saturday, but we've got some really good names on the bill on Saturday, including Rico, including Banana Man, Al Storm, Rob IYF, big names in hardcore. So that's going to go down an absolute treat. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to actually rip it up and actually, you know, just be there and enjoy the vibes. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. And then the following week, we're at Stomp for Jordan. Now, I put a set together for Stomp for Jordan. I'm doing a house set in room 2, a 45-minute house set. And sadly, we've had a little bit of bad news over the past couple of weeks. We've had some shocking news, to be fair, and it's really, for me, it's actually really got me down a little bit, actually, thinking about it. We've had sadly, a few DJs that have sadly passed away, that were quite well known in the music scene, and in the house music scene especially. And it's just absolutely devastating. So obviously, you'll know on my channel I did the tribute mix to Ian Carey. So obviously Ian Carey sadly passed away, which I was gutted about because I was a big fan of some of Ian Carey's tracks, especially Keep On Rising and Baby Get Shaky. You know, they were classic tunes. So to find out he'd passed away in his 40s was just an absolute, you know, it was gutting for me. And then probably about a week later, I found out that Marcus Bursk, who was one of the members to the group Capella that were big in the 90s, songs such as You've Got to Let the Music, You've Got to Know, you know, massive 90s Euro dance hits, he'd sadly passed away. So I was absolutely gutted about that. Again, they were like two 90s tunes that I was quite a big fan of, and they did an absolutely amazing job as a group. back in the day. And then to top it all off, I had no clue about this, and I was quite gutted that I'd never even seen anything. But I was out with my friend with the layman a couple of days ago. I think it was Friday, and we'd gone out for our normal late night drive as we do. We'd put the radio on, and Capital was playing. There was live at an event. There was a DJ playing. He dropped Paul Johnson, Get Down, and a guy on the mic who was sort of like hosting the night said R.I.P. to Paul Johnson, and I had no clue that legend Paul Johnson had passed away. So what I've decided to do, because we've had the three DJs that have sadly passed away, I thought it would only seem right that we do a little bit of a tribute set. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to play a lot of my original set, so a lot of the tunes that I already had planned to play are still going to be in place, but a couple of them I'm just going to replace them, and I'm going to play some of the Ian Carey. I'm going to play a Paul Johnson Get Down remix and stuff like that, just as a little bit of a tribute, as sadly Paul Johnson passed away, which, like I say, I had no clue that he'd passed away. And I was a big Paul Johnson fan, and not just for Get Down. He did a tune called Make Me Feel, which used a piano melody that David Morales used in Needing You back in 1998. So I was very shocked when I'd heard about Paul Johnson's passing. He actually passed away beginning of August, about the 3rd of August. I was like I say, I was absolutely gutted to hear that, and it sort of saddened me. So many DJs are going at the moment. I just can't believe it personally. All these people are sadly, passing away, leaving us behind, and going on to better places. Scratch Perry, the reggae legend, has died age 85 today. We're losing all of our artists, so it only seems right that next week at the Stomp for Jordan event in Hull, we just do a little bit of a tribute, just as a respect to the artists, because for me, I love the music, I respect the artists. So what decks will you be mixing at the events? So on Friday, I think it's the Pioneer CDJ 2000s. It was originally going to be the RX, because, like I say, originally for DNA we was upstairs, but upstairs when you hire that club, they don't supply the decks upstairs, so you have to so the person who's planning the event has to bring their own. However, Dan Sketch, who's playing on the night, said he was going to bring his RX2. Sorry, he's not RX2, but the RX, the latest one. So it was originally going to be on the RX, but now it's moved downstairs. It might be the CDJ 2000s again. But obviously I'll be taking videos and things when I'm there, so you'll see what I'm playing on when I'm at the event. And as for Saturday, I'm just MCing, so I won't be touching any of the decks, and unless I have to adjust the mic volume or anything, but they'll probably have that set up anyway. And I don't like to adjust mic volumes in clubs myself, just in case, if there's a recording, I don't want to distort the level. So, but obviously I'll update you once I've been. Probably about this time next week, I'll be coming live and sort of giving my opinion on how I thought the event went, and sort of telling you what equipment I used and stuff. But with it being boxed, I would imagine it'll be the CDJ 2000s for Friday, which is good for me. I've just got to remember to bring a headphone jack, because last time, how I mixed without a headphone jack, don't even ask. Diabolical. But I actually did, and I got the mixes more or less perfect, apart from maybe just a couple of tracks, but there was only slightly out, so you wouldn't have really been able to tell. But it just kind of made me laugh, but it just sort of showed I didn't have the jack, and I was still able to mix. So it just absolutely, you know. But yeah, I've just got to remember to bring them. Do you know what I mean? I just need to remember to bring that jack, because although I mixed without the jack, it was very hard and I wouldn't recommend doing it, and it wasn't pleasant to do, like, because you know when I'm DJing I like to be able to jump around and get hyper and get interactive with the crowd, but because I had the dodgy headphones, I had to work so much harder, you know, on getting the mixes like on point, so it was harder for me to kind of like, you know, I didn't want to sort of like step back and have a little dance around too much, because I wanted to make sure that I could get the tune in time for bringing it in. So it was a little bit of a shame on that score, but the set was still good for the you know the people that were there attending the event, and they, you know, people were saying it was a banging set, people loved it, so you know it was all good on. You know, it was all good on it was all good on that score. But obviously, you know, if I've got my headphone jack, I can hear the music more clearly in the headphones. It'll give me that time to it'll give me that time to just, you know what I mean, smash it out really, and you know, sort of have a little bit of a boogie and a dance around, and you know, get a little bit more hyperactive. So you know, it'll be a buzz. But yeah, so I thought, you know, I like to come on and update you guys. Obviously, Friday's event has changed quite a bit with us moving downstairs. Obviously, giving 30 people the chance to come into the club. So I'm buzzed about that. And like I say, Saturday is going to be a buzz as well. And the thing that's quite exciting is it's almost like I get to do it all again the following week, because like I say, we got Stomp for Jordan on the Friday, then on the Saturday I'm actually at a party. It's just a birthday party. I would imagine I might be emceeing there or something, or having a little mix. I'm not entirely sure what's going down, if you know if there's going to be decks there or anything. I'll have to inquire, but it's no event or anything. It's just a friend's birthday party. They're having a little get together. I only found out. I only found out through a friend that, you know, this party was happening. Have you got a link for the live on Friday? I'm gonna find out. I'm not sure. Like, I would imagine, as far as Facebook goes, it'll get streamed on the Billy's Memorial event page, but I'm not sure where it's gonna get streamed. Like, as far as YouTube and Twitch goes. So once I know exactly where it's going to get streamed, and I'll make a stream. I'll come live myself, or I'll make a video, and I'll put the links in the description to all the platforms where you'll be able to listen to the live. So if you want to listen on Facebook, you can listen through Facebook. If you want to listen through Twitch, etc., YouTube, you can click them links as well, and you know, you'll be able to listen in. Personally, Facebook for me is, I think it's the best platform for streaming. It's a shame about, you know, like, you get your copyrights and your takedowns, but just in terms of layout, and just in terms of, like, I don't know, just, you know, I just like the way it works, apart from a takedown, as opposed to like Twitch. It's just, you know, going on, you know, I don't know personally, you know, I'm used to Facebook, but obviously I'll be reading the chats for the other streams as well. So all you've got to really do is keep your eyes peeled. And before we do go, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but where I'm sat doing this live, there's a different background to where I'm usually sat. So I've had a little bit of a change around today, and I've moved all of my decks. I just felt like a change. Every now and again, I feel like just having them in a different position. You know, sometimes you get bored of standing and looking at the same view, And I just thought, will it maybe make any difference? Will I maybe get a better camera angle for the lives if I move the setup about? It's been on my mind for a while, but I just haven't really been quite sure how I wanted to do it, so I've never done it. And then today I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna unplug everything, move it about, see what we can come up with. And to be fair, I quite like the result. It's got its like ups and downs, like the way I had it before. Like some of the like wires where I had it before were just like easier to plug in and route, whereas now some of them like go a little bit of a different way, and they're getting away, they get in the way in some parts, like because just next to me here is where I walk to get behind the decks, and I've got to kind of like walk over some wires, whereas where I had it before, which would be like where I'm sat now, would be sort of near where I'd be stood if I was mixing, and I didn't have to step over any wires to get behind my booth. So that's I guess the only downside. But the good side is that this wall here, where I've now got the decks sort of like in front of, it's a longer wall. So I'm hoping that when we move the green screen, because I've still got to move the green screen and I've got to take my clock down and stuff. So I'm hoping when we move the green screen, we might get some better camera angles with the green screen. Like if that makes sense. So I'm quite hopefully looking forward to getting some different streams. So, do you mix when I'm at home? Yeah, I've just done a promo mix tonight for DNA. I often have a mix at home. I couldn't not. I love my music too much. I don't like films. I've got bored of video games. They don't really interest me now. I do production as well. Like I do like producing songs on FL. If you check the channel, I've like done some streams where I've showcased a few tracks I've been working on. But to me, like my decks is everything. It was like earlier I'd plugged everything back in, and I'd plugged two phono leads in the wrong input. So basically, channel one on my mixer goes to my PC. So when I'm like, say if I'm watching YouTube, or say if I'm like listening to some music just on the PC, it'll come through the speakers. And I plugged them in the phono inputs instead of the line inputs. Now, maybe me, I was a little bit tired. I'd just moved everything, and I didn't see what the issue was at first, and I was getting no sound. I was getting a little bit aerated, and I got a little bit annoyed and a bit stressed out, because at first I thought there was a bigger issue than there was, and if something like this goes, like, do you know what I mean? Like if something breaks, it kind of screws you over in more ways than you can imagine, because even if say like one CDJ stopped working, it's a lot of money to replace it. So like I need these. I need them. Like, because I do residencies on pages, and I do a lot of self promotion through mixing at home. So like, if they broke, or like if something broke, like I'd be screwed, and that's what I think of, and I think that's why I get so aerated, because I'm thinking like, it's not like, I don't know, say for example, if I was writing with a pencil and I snapped the pencil, I could just go to Poundland and pick up another one for, a quid, or you could probably go somewhere and get a pencil for 79p or something. But, if something on your decks breaks, or like your deck disappears, or something happens, it's like hundreds of pounds to replace it. Well, these are like nearly going on 200 quid, but it's not something you can just go down to your local store and pick it up the next day. And when you've got like residencies on pages and things, so like sometimes, like if you just can't get something to work, you can get a bit panicky, because you're thinking of the long run of like, you've sort of got to prepare yourself. Like if you're going to be like God knows how long without a setup, you've got to sort of tell the pages your residency with, and then you're going to sort of lose your slot, and then someone else could maybe take that slot, because that page isn't going to sit there for months on end, with that slot free, when they could have a DJ on that's going to play every week at that time, and they're going to promote the page, and they're going to bring the viewers in. So you could potentially lose that slot, and when you do eventually get something back, you could have lost that slot, and do you know what I mean? Like, you could be gone, and someone else is doing that slot, and then you might just get like a terrible slot. Do you know what I mean? That wouldn't even be worth doing, because no one would watch at that time, but it's the only slot they've got. So, but yeah, but to cut the story short, I plugged the wire in the wrong input, and that's why I wasn't getting a sound. I wasn't getting a sound because I was in the wrong input. I was in the phono input, so it was just getting a slight distorted noise. And I thought it was the wire at first, so I changed the wire around, and I plugged it in exactly the same place, the wrong place. And then I was still getting it, so I thought, well, it's got to be something with the mixer. And this is where I started to panic and stress. And then I realised that it was in the phono, not in the line. And I've done that before, believe it or not. I've done it before and panicked the same as well. And I'll probably do it again. How long did it take you to learn to beat match? Not long, actually. I was quite surprised at how quickly I picked it up. So I got my decks at Christmas of 2019. And I think easily by February, I was definitely on my way to getting quite good at mixing. It was just something, I don't know, when it comes to music, I pick things up really quick. But if it comes to something else, like, I don't know, like, like for ages, you've got this curtain behind me, you've got to like tie it to open it. It's not like a slide along curtain. It took me months to be able to learn to tie that thing. And I was just thinking, like, it took me so long, but to beat match music, I picked it up like really quick. And it's the same with production. I'm actually getting to the point now where I'm actually making decent music, where you can tell where I'm improving. So for some reason, it's like music is for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I pick up music really quick, because I've done a few different jobs as well, and I've done a few different other bits and bobs, and I just don't seem to pick other things up as quick. Maybe it's because I'm not as interested. Who knows? But it's like with the music, everything's worked. I started MCing. I started doing well from it. I was gaining likes and followers. So I just feel like when I stick and focus at the music, I feel like good things happen to me, and I feel like like it works for me. I feel like I fit in. I've made so many friends through music. It's been absolutely amazing. So for some reason, I picked up beat matching really quick. But to me now, beat matching just seems so easy. But obviously, to someone who can't beat match, it's the hardest thing in the world to do. Because I do remember when I first like went on a pair of CDJs at my friend's house, and I was absolutely terrible. I was absolutely shocking. And I was spinning that jog wheel for dear life, and I just could not find the beat. I was moving the pitch, and it just, whatever I seemed to do, it just wouldn't go in. It just wouldn't go in beat. And then it was all of a sudden one day, not long after I got my decks, it's like I clicked and it came to me, and it was like suddenly I was hearing the beats coming together and coming in time, and now I do it. I can just beat match so well. I can, if a tune's at 170, the other tune's at 175. I can bring the other tune up to 175 and get it in beat quite well. And now I can obviously spin vinyl as well. So it's it's most definitely beneficial, being able to beat match. by all means, it's it's an amazing feeling. But it didn't, like I say, it didn't take me too long. So anyone else who wants to get into mixing, just stick at it because it'll come to you. I watched a few videos. Alaskan's the DJ tutor. He's quite a good guy to watch, actually. And he made quite an interesting video yesterday about the COVID jabs and whether you should be allowed in nightclubs or not. And just the way he presented the video was quite well. It wasn't almost like it was against the vaccine, but it wasn't making the video like, sort of like telling people not to get it, if that makes sense. Like he was just airing his opinion, and he spoke like quite well about it, and he spoke quite formal about it, and just sort of stated how he felt rather than saying like, oh, what, why are people getting it, and you shouldn't get it, and he's just saying like personally he thinks it's a load of nothing, but he agrees with other, he lets people have their opinion as well. But he spoke quite well about whether about entrance on nightclubs, and how he thinks that it's all about taking away our freedom and stuff. And I agreed with him, but I just liked the way he presented the video, because it wasn't so much like he was causing an argument. It was just like he was voicing an opinion. But he's a good guy to watch. He's done video tutorials on DJing for absolutely years. I've followed him for a lot of years, just because I've always had a interest in music equipment, and I've always, I like watching videos like when when new piece of equipment comes out, and new decks, and he'll sort of review them and unbox them, and he'll do a few like good sort of like tutorials about scratching, and not just beat matching, but how to beat match in key, harmony. He's done so many videos over time, vinyl, digital controllers, even from like planning sets and things like that, analysing tunes, just anything in general to do with DJing. This guy's probably made a video on it, and he does quite well on YouTube. And the thing about it is he's been on YouTube a while. He's not like become like top world famous and made like millions of subscribers off of it, but he's got like over 100,000 subscribers, and he's just kept going. He just he does it because he loves it, not because he's big headed and he wants to get fame. He's not become like the biggest YouTuber in the world or anything, but he's just enjoyed and loved what he's done for years, and he's carried on doing it. And I've just got total respect for the guy, and I watch a lot of his videos, and I just find him interesting. He's just a very interesting guy in general. If you want to learn any knowledge about DJing, really, as he DJs himself as well. So, it's all booming. But yeah, but anyway, people, it is about, jeez, it's about quarter to one. So I am going to cut the live in a moment, because it's going to be a hectic weekend, so I don't want to be sort of having too much of a hectic week, because obviously it's going to be a late one Friday, it's going to be a late one Saturday, so I'm obviously going to be shattered on Sunday. But obviously I don't want to sort of like overdo it before I go to the event. If I get a few decent night kips before these events take place, it should be all gravy. I'm looking forward to them, and I want to be, refreshed and at my best for them, especially Saturday, because there's big names involved, and who knows where this is going to lead. I don't know who I'm emceeing for on Saturday, but if it's someone like, if it's someone who I've not emceed for before, plus other people in the room are going to hear you as well, they'll be like, wow, this guy's good. And then when they find out, like, oh, he DJs as well, they'll also be, do you know what I mean? They'll also be like quite chuffed and impressed. So, it could open doors for me. which is why I like to go to these events as well, because you never know who's going to be lurking around. You know, people who have ideas to put their own nights on, they sometimes go to other events just to get the vibe and a feel. If they think their event would do well, if they did something in this venue or something like that. So you never know who's lurking about, who might approach you, say 2 weeks down the line, and hey, I saw you at Telford a couple of weeks back. You was amazing on the mic, or you was amazing behind the decks. I'm putting a little something on in a couple of weeks myself, or in a few months. Putting an event on, a new brand starting, or we've got another event going on here in a couple of weeks, and we'd like you to play for us. And then boom, you're getting out there with more people. So I like to go sort of on that score as well, and hope that someone sort of spots you at one of these events and grabs you for their event. I'm an open free guy, so I'll play anywhere, me, within reason, obviously. Unless something's had like so many bad reviews and I've been told by numerous people to stay away from it, then I'll stay away from it. But other than that, if someone books me, I'll play. If someone's got an issue with the guy I'm playing for, then they'll just have to get over it, because at the end of the day, I'm just doing what I can to push my music. I'm not, siding with anybody or taking sides during an argument. I've got big love for everybody, and it might sound a bit big-headed, but all I honestly care about is the music and how far I can take it. I'll be friends with anybody, and I'll support anybody if they support me. But if someone has an argument with somebody, and I like both of the people, then I won't choose a side, and I won't fall out with somebody just because someone else has fallen out with them. Do I buy my tunes off Bandcamp or Beatport? Both. I bought tunes off Beatport. I bought tunes off of Bandcamp in the past. Beatport, I prefer Bandcamp to Beatport, because Bandcamp actually lets you preview the whole song, and Bandcamp just seems a little bit easier, works for me easier. I've gone on to Beatport a few times, and it said my password's incorrect, but it's actually not. So I've changed the password, and I've set it to what I thought it was, and it's logged me in. And then the next time I've gone back to Beatport again and put the same password in, it's telling me it's wrong again. So before we end the stream, I'll show you as an example. So I'll go over to Beatport now. Right. And I'll prove to you that this doesn't work. So it's weird, but it honestly doesn't work. So what I'm gonna do, my Beatport. So I'm gonna log in. So my email, my Gmail. So this is what my password is. It says username or password is incorrect. But last time I was on Beatport, it literally let me, I changed my password to that password, and I know I'm using the right password because this is the one I always use. We'll try it again. Saying it's wrong. And this is what I don't get about Beatport. So every time I go on, I'll reset the password to that same password. And then the next time I go to Beatport, it says the password's wrong. So I definitely prefer Bandcamp. Definitely. And they must think, like, if they don't know there's an issue, they must think I'm some guy with a fucked up memory, because I'm sure, like, every couple of weeks they'll get you know that they'll send me an email because I've clicked forgot password. You know what I mean? Oh dear, crazy. But there we go. Anyway, people. So thank you for locking in. Gonna end it now. Gonna go and chill out for a bit. Probably make a drink and a little bite to eat. Hit the hay and stuff like that. I probably won't be live tomorrow because I'm going out to my friends tomorrow. Not seen them in ages. I'll be about 2 weeks now. Because I called one night quite late. My friend was just going through a little bit of a rough patch. So me and another friend went round just to check, you know, she was all right. It was a death in the family, believe it or not. They've sort of been away and been busy as well, quite a bit recently. I was gonna go yesterday, but then something came up. So I deeply apologised and said, look, I'll come on Tuesday. So I'm obviously gonna go tomorrow. But yes, there we go. So yes, people. So take it easy. Like, comment, share, all the rest of it. Keep notified on the channel for where I'm gigging and playing next. I'll do some lives as well where I'm mixing before long. Obviously, I ain't got my green screen set up at the moment because it's still set up where it originally was, and it's going to be a pain to move because I've got to take loads of nails out, and then I've got to try and reuse some of the nails, and some of them won't be reusable, trust me. But yeah, like, comment, share. Peace out, people. Boom.